Jim Keirstead is an international artist who is well known for his incredible scenic and historic home landscape paintings. Jim joins me today to tell us about his inspiring art exhibit celebrating Kingston's landscapes, happening this weekend at the Waterford Retirement Home. Welcome, Jim. Thank you for being here. I wanted to ask you to begin with when you decided that you would like to paint.
My mother always claimed that I started saying it at age 6 that I was going to be an artist. And I did pencil crayons and watercolors and all this stuff through my young years. But life changed drastically when we moved to Charlotte. Like our store and home burned to the ground. We just escaped with our lives. And I turned 17 that spring, and with no jobs around, I joined the Army, which then took me to Korea.
And when did you decide that you were going to pick up a paintbrush and start painting?
No, I did little watercolors, and I never had anything but, very basic stuff for many years. But I sort of did them all along through my teenage years. And I even had done some in Camp Borden before I went to Korea. I had a few of those. And I had not studied anything, so.
You were self-taught, which is amazing. What I want to ask you is, when you really became focused on painting, what determined what you would like to paint?
Basically, I painted the stuff I loved, like the lakes and rivers and all the old homes, the mills, the historic houses, log cabins. I really became quite well known for my mills. Bell Rock Mill is actually in the show when painting of it. And I did a painting in the mill of the mill one time. They said they would never have asked me had they known what amount of work it was setting up in a dark place, lights and everything to work.
I want to talk about your show this weekend coming up, and it is held at the Waterford Retirement Home here in Kingston. I want to ask you where your paintings will be displayed.
Well, it's basically the dining room. You go to the rear parking lot, and it's right there, and they're taking down their large prints and putting up my originals, so I get to show more really large things that I've done over the years that I've kept.
Your paintings are incredible for many reasons, and one of them is for the color and how you depict each tree, and it looks like every leaf is so specific. And your scenery, your mills are incredible in the tones. I wanted to make sure that people know that you will be there.
Well, yeah, I'll be trapped in a chair for about 4 hours, 2 afternoons, 1 to 4, both Saturday and Sunday, the 26th and 27th of April.
Right.
And the people have a chance to win the one painting, A Hike in the Lanark Woods, that's on the red couch. It's worth about $5,000. It's the first time we've ever given away an original for a show.
And also you will have some books for sale as well?
Yeah, we'll have books and a few prints. But basically, it's the originals that featured there.
Sometime in your life you decided to go from paintbrush to knife, and those techniques are also very important to know about. And I think that's what lures people to see what we're looking at now.
So the biggest part about that is I always had it in my head that I did not want to follow how other artists painted. I wanted to paint my way. And because I started that way once, 1958 to 62, in that year, couple of years there, I switched over to painting mainly with knives, and I was using broad putty knives, sometimes 3-4 inches wide. And so when I put these slashes of paint in, I used a lot of paint. Like, I would use more paint in one painting that lots of people don't use in a lifetime.
When you were finished one painting and you step back and look at it, what is one word that describes how you felt?
Well, before I studied very much, I thought many paintings were just fine. I liked them very well. But as I learned, you can learn a lot from other artists, from the books they wrote. And as I studied this art through the years, I learned you don't have to like an artist's work to learn a lot from them. So basically, once I caught on that I could read all these books, and I added it to my knowledge, and I taught at St. Lawrence College and took a huge classroom full and all sorts of other places, and I did demonstrations like I painted the Odessa Mill in Odessa High School. And
So Jim, I know your exhibit is again at Waterford Kingston Retirement, 471 Cataraqui Woods on April 26th and 27th between 1 and 4, and you will be there, and I wish you all the best for that exhibit. I think everybody will be so happy to see your paintings. Thank you for joining me today.
And see me. They're coming to see me.
Yeah, they are. They're coming to see you too.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, April.
You're very welcome.